And behind that Bulldog, Terry Lamb leads the Canterbury side down the tunnel and onto the Belmore Sports Ground for a Friday night fixture which continues to put pressure on this Canterbury side because they have not been successful for the past 5 weeks. A terrible run for them after leading the competition. They've certainly fallen from grace on a bitterly cold night at Belmore. The Canterbury side take on this Brisbane Broncos lineup.
To be led by Gene Miles, well bandaged, if you remember last week against Canberra. A cut to his forehead that required about 17 stitches. Dowling behind him. And Brisbane, the competition leaders, up against Canterbury. Hoff back at fullback tonight, the big tall man. Vital for both sides. Graham West is in control. Chris Anderson. I don't think it's the same piece of the gum from last Friday night.
Well, I believe Canterbury have got to be very guarded in their handling of Paul Hoff, the Broncos' replacement fullback. Hoff is a most deceptive player, very, very fast, and can bust a tackle. They should not give him any room to move when he does come into the back line. He's very, very dynamic.
Graham West gets us underway. Shira. Is this going to be an improved Canterbury Bankstown outfit? Tonight we'll soon know. Langmack, they will look to him for a great game to get them going in the forwards. Haggith, they'll be looking for a much improved David Gillespie, who doesn't have to have the worry as he hits it up now of a midweek test match, like he did last week. Farah, the clearing kick. Testimonial year it is for Andrew Farah. Hoff. Taken right across the side of the field by Haggith. Assistance from Robinson. Allen. Great game from him last week against Canberra. Langer to the back straight away. They didn't mess around against Canberra when they went wide. Brisbane normally struggle when they travel away from Lang Park. Hone. Heavy defence early on in the forwards. Miles sighted a gap up the middle. It closed pretty quickly on him. Last tackle. Well, he's caught Canterbury on the last. It's almost criminal for a coach looking on sideline to have his team give it up like that on the last tackle. He must really be concerned when they get down to the 5th and 6th.
Yes, I think the Canterbury side have done a pretty good job of holding Brisbane in the first 5. And you're quite right to concede a penalty on the last there was, well, just not on.
Carrot Walters, Dowling. Settles things down for the Broncos. They got started very early against Canberra. Allen. Canterbury are the only team that they have failed to beat in the Winfield Cup since they came in 1988. Langer. Miles. What a handful he is when he stands wide. Shira. Swerving out of a couple. Langer. Swinging arm coming in from Lamb. 12 metres away, the Broncos. G. 9 metres away from that try line. Langer. Bomb's going to come down for Nissen. Climbing high was Hoff. Knocked it on for Khan. I shouldn't say climbing high. He hardly has to leap at all, Hoff.
Yeah, well, look at him here. We see it in the Nissan replay. He's about 6'6" or 6'7", this man. He just towers above everybody.
Brisbane. So again, another very near thing. Shira has the football stripped from him by Lamb, who'll be penalised.
Yeah, Terry Lamb, guilty of obviously continuing on after the tackle was called by the referee. Here's Shira, Nissan replay. And watch Terry Lamb busily working away like a little beaver on the ball. There it is. And that's the dispossession of the ball. So the penalty's gone against the Canterbury side.
So the Broncos come down just 32 metres away from the Canterbury Bankstown line. Hancock recoils out of one. Finally put down just outside the 22. One of the rare opportunities so far that the Brisbane side have to get inside the Canterbury quarter. Hone will play it. Now Dowling. The switch. Johns. Just on the quarter line. Straight ahead goes Greg Dowling. Langer. The long one for Walters. The little kick ahead. Oh, taken brilliantly by Shira.
Yeah, it ricocheted.
It ricocheted, sure, but he was there to snatch it and go and score right under the post.
Well, I think that Canterbury can take some consolation for that one. A fairly fortuitous bounce here. We've got the charge on the Nissan replay by Dowling, which set the play up. He took 3 players to tackle him. Got to his feet as quickly as he could. Played it nice and quickly. The pass went from Walters. Langer's cut-out pass. Little chip ahead by Walters. The ricochet. And there's Shira coming in to take the beautiful bounce and score right underneath the goalpost. That's a smart try. Everything well done. But nonetheless, an element of luck in it. Just a little ricochet there off the back of one of the Canterbury players. Put Shira on track to score what turned out to be a very simple try. Somebody just walked in the ground and saw that, they'd think, well, Canterbury had opened up. That's not the case. Canterbury have been very competitive, believe me.
The promotions manager, 8 tries for the season.
Promotions manager?
He's the promotions manager. He knows how cold it was in Parks. He probably thinks he's back there too. 32 from 56 this season. That's my quick calculation tells me it's 57% average. From in front, Shira makes it 1 more to his tally. So the Broncos lead Canterbury 6 points to 0. This on Friday Night Football from Belmore. The Canterbury side come up with possession again. So the opportunity presents itself. Agatha will play it 30 metres away from the Broncos line. Penalty's going to go to Canterbury. Brisbane way offside. Walters and Johns particularly. So the penalty awarded inside the quarter. As a rather casual off-the-shoulder look from Andrew Farrer. Now Terry Lamb, 26 from 43, a 60% success rate for him. No problems for him. So the Bulldogs are on the board. It's Brisbane 6 and Canterbury makes down 2.
Langer. Alsham will cut this one off. Touch of soccer. And then a darting run. Nissen gets clear. Now he's got McGrady. He must see him, surely. McGrady, the pass went astray. Well, Nissen must have memories of a couple of weeks ago against Parramatta.
They've absolutely butchered what looked like a try. They've got presumably the fastest man on the field on the inside, waiting for the ball. And there's nothing wrong with the pass as far as I could see. It just went waist high, slightly in front of him, and he attempted to take it with one hand.
That would have set up a great chase. Hancock was coming from the far wing. Miles. Johns. Well, from one chance for Canterbury, it might be Brisbane at the other end. Darren Smith won't get him. So they lost a chance, Canterbury, and Brisbane turned it into a try for themselves.
Yes, a classic example of a way to turn the game around when something goes right for you, or you have a bit of luck with one situation, suddenly you get the football back, and this is what you do with it. Straight away to John, showed remarkable pace. Darren Smith got to him, but not able to stop him scoring. And there it was from the scrum after the upheaval with Nissan and McGrady. Miles got the pass back on the inside there to Johns. Johns used his exceptional pace and a certain amount of willpower on this occasion, because it looked to me as though Smith was going to get him, but he fell short of him, able to score a very, very smart try. So we've got a scoreline now that has slipped on to 10 points to 2, and things are looking good for the Broncos.
Got to get their heads up. Climb back into the game. Shira tries to help shut them out. No goal. With the Broncos 10 points to 2 over Canterbury. Langer. Shira. G. Back for Shira. Canterbury haven't moved up both sides. difference between the two teams being that when Brisbane get down this end, they nearly always produce a try. Hancock lost it back. Towed back again. I thought it continued back all the time. Graham West says it didn't.
Well, have a look at it here. Hancock holding Lamb off with one hand. The ball's knocked back. Apparently it was knocked on by a Canterbury player there. Are we going to get a Broncos feed?
Well, there's a player down. He's going to rule a Canterbury feed. Dowling. Not travelling at all well.
No, he's lying fairly still at the moment. Let's have a look and see exactly what we can find out in the Nissan replay. Here's Dowling running with the football, gets the pass away. There's a hit, not a stiff arm, but a tackle round the neck, which is not in the book.
He was hit high.
He's got a problem with his head.
Heavily concussed. Dowling will have to be taken off. He got into his feet. He probably thinks it's Lang Park.
No, he's talking okay to the trainers.
Once the mouth guard, Kerrod Walters said take a spell in the head bin. Now he's going to rejoin play. Canterbury feed. Robinson comes in off the blindside wing. Struggling run out to the 22. Dowling seemed to be moving okay back into the line. Gillespie. Gillespie. No one on his outside. Farah. They've created a number of breaks but haven't been able to capitalise, Canterbury. Khan. Back for Hoff. Canterbury will try and force the error now from Brisbane in their own danger zone. Long pass from Kevin Walters that
was nearly the danger pass.
Johns had to grab at. Hancock goes nowhere. 10-2. The Broncos lead. Miles, a step. Gets the kick in. Down for Alshan.
Knocked behind him. Got Robinson there with him. Robinson brings it back into Brisbane territory. Now there's another Brisbane player down after making that tackle. It's Hone who's down. As the Bulldogs try to claw their way back in, Langmack holds it up. Out for Farah. Thomas was there to back him up. Now it's with Alchin. Now Lamb. Lamb's given it away to Haggett. Shira across in cover. And over the sideline he goes, but the penalty's going to go Canterbury's way.
Well, he must have called tackle and he's been given 10 minutes in the sin bin. Now this is the Nissan replay of the incident. See the way the power came in there to drive him over the sideline.
So Lamb will have the shot for goal. It doesn't look as if anybody's going to the bin.
Well, he held his hands up in that manner.
He was just giving the signal that they pushed him out over touch once he'd called to play the football.
It looked a very strange signal.
So Haggett was that player down, grimacing with pain that you saw. And some action from the Broncos bench. I see Terry Madison getting set, Bill.
Yeah, he's going on for Mark Hone. They think that Hone was injured in that tackle. They're going to put Madison on. It won't be a head bin.
Terry Madison
also getting rid of some gear, so maybe they want Dowling in the head bin.
Certainly a heavy knock to Dowling. Took him amazed that he was able to come back as quickly as he did.
Well, they're very resilient front row forwards. They've been used to taking knocks. They can usually handle that scene.
So here's Lamb. Trying to get his side 2 points closer. It's to the right. Walters took it over the dead ball line. Well, that was an amazing thing. Walters had the opportunity just to let the ball go dead of its own accord, but he tried to take it, and then in doing so put a foot over the dead ball line. Consequently, he's put his side under pressure with a goal line dropout from Hoff. Alchin for Robinson. Hone has left the field for the Broncos. Hone making his way off. Madison is on. Madison called upon to do some defensive work as Canterbury 32 metres away from the Broncos line. Kyle White takes the ball up very hard. And McGrady is dummy half. Across for Alchin, and then Lamb. Farah's coming back the other way into the clear to Langmack. Langmack's made a mess of it. Been touched by Brisbane. Kicked ahead by McGrady. McGrady will score. Ewan McGrady puts the try on the board that Canterbury have been searching for.
Yes, see it again on the Nissan replay and to see exactly how it came about. The play went out to the left here. Lamb held it up, gave it back to Farah on the inside. Now we're looking for anything suggesting a knock on. There's Langmack. The pass, well, just went out of frame there, the action shot. That apparently came off a Bronco player because the referee immediately waved his hand. We'll see it again on this action. He comes through. There's the Langmack in possession, the little dummy. The pass was certainly knocked down. It looked by Shira there. And McGrady was able to tow it on and pick up a low bouncing ball. I'm glad he didn't make a meal of that. Farah away to Langmack, who had to do everything. The pass was clearly knocked on by Shira. McGrady with a towing, and he bent down fairly low to pick this up, but scores a very, very good try. That's a good surge back by the Canterbury side, who've now got themselves back into some sort of contention.
And the council worker had to get by a Brisbane player who was trying to hold him back as well. So Lamb, 1 from 2. This is a better looking kick. Lamb adds the extras. So it's now Brisbane just for the 2-point lead, 10-8 over Canterbury. Straight into Joe Thomas. No, sir, I wasn't going anywhere. Here's his man, Kevin Walters again, having a fine game, causing a lot of trouble for Canterbury. Now Johns. On the 22, this is the last tackle for the Broncos. It's with Langer. Up it goes again. Bouncing awkwardly and bouncing back towards the Broncos. They've got it. Miles, I think it is a score. Gene Miles, yes. What a bounce that was.
Well, a hell of a bounce. That's a frightful bounce. And really, they've had an element of luck about a couple of their tries tonight. And this is one. Now, Langer gave plenty of power to this kick. It went up very, very high in the air. Extremely high. Watch it bounce directly backwards. And Miles coming in, picks it up on the second bounce in the field of play and then puts it down. Now, that is a horror of a try. Alchin probably should have tried to get to it on the full. He probably had the goal post. The ball had just come over the top of the goal post and he was a little bit undecided about it. But nonetheless, it's a swine of a bounce. And you can always be sure that when your team's not travelling well, you'll get that sort of a bounce. And there's the man that was able to pounce on it. He's had a fine game tonight. He's been a real captain, playing with a very large number of stitches in his head from last Sunday. Shira will take the kick from directly in front.
1 from 2 tonight for Dale Shira. This should be his second. No problems. So the Broncos skip away again. It's now Brisbane 18 and Canterbury Bankstown 8. Can't get any closer than that, can you, for handling errors? 9 apiece. Shira's got one out here for Hoff. And Hoff puts his hoof to it. There's that bounce again. This time the Bronco players were all offside if they'd touched it. Alchin lost the football, picked up by Kevin Walters. A pass that looked forward. But it's going to come out to Hancock. And Hancock, did he get the football down? No, he didn't. No try. And maybe that's just as well because the pass early was forward.
Yes, clearly. I'm glad you mentioned that at the time, but let's see this run by Hancock and just check him out for the try. and clearly over the sideline before he got the ball down. Yes, good decision by the touch judge.
Good decision by the touch judge. And thankfully saves that situation with a forward pass.
As Kyle White's running amok out there, he's really playing very, very strongly. The Canterbury side, the last replacement forward that came on, he's having a fine game.
Thomas quickly for Lamb. Flicks it out the back for Thomas. Thomas gets away from Dowling. That was forward. He's got this one.
Slow bank replay. Yes, Thomas trying to get the pass away to Nissan there, and it just floated fractionally forward. The referee was directly in line with it.
West calling to the Canterbury backline to get onside. Hoff. It'll be a frustrating game, Peter Sterling, when little things tend to go against you, and that luck, how do you try and change it?
Well, I don't know if you can change it. Luck's a funny thing, Graham, but I think everybody has luck. You have to put yourself in the position to take advantage of it when it does present itself. Brisbane have certainly done that tonight. Canterbury have just got to work away. They've got 17 minutes. They don't have to play catch-up football. They have to play good field position, a good kicking game, and I think they do have the superior kicking game, and really just hope something comes their way just through good, honest toiling.
Well, they've got to do that for another tackle here. Another bomb from Langer. Alston's under this one. Hoffer's coming through. Robinson fumbles and regathers.
Spammy days, they're living dangerously at the moment. Obviously, Langer has worked out that Alston is a problem. Alston let that go for Robinson. Robinson most awkwardly handled the ball. Look at that for a catch. Well, gee whiz. You'd give a batsman not out with that one, wouldn't you?
They often do. 6 more tackles for Brisbane. Shira winds up. Abrupt hold at the end of Thomas. Had to be a penalty. Thomas was hanging onto him.
Yes, you don't see this sort of situation very often because Thomas is usually a fairly circumspect player. But there he's just holding on to Shira, hasn't got a marker in front of him. Obviously was intending to tap the ball and play it forward. Thomas took the odds to a professional foul there.
About 30 out. Shira. 2 from 3. One of the big leaguers out on sale at all grounds this weekend. And, of course, that your local news agent. Some stories there from Max Grilich about that great rivalry being set up between Langer and Ricky Stewart as we look ahead to the Kangaroo Tour. You will see the Kangaroo Tour, of course, on Network 10. All the matches. Shira. Does he stretch this lead? He does. Brisbane feeling a little bit safer at 18 points to 8 over Canterbury at Belmore.
He probably should have let it go back inside because there was a man there who was unmarked. Here's Lamb bringing it back this way for Langmack. Back for Lamb, who's gone without it. Not back, said referee West. White will play it. Alchin. Here's McGrady again. Tronk is getting set to come on. He's on the sideline there. He'll be coming on for Dowling. Lamb flicks it back. Miles was there to take the intercept. He's got Langer with him. Langer's looking back inside. Now he's just taking the tackle. There's Shira to back him up. Shira with some room to move. Shira try. Dale Shira to score.
Just unbelievable pace this man's got. Really, he's the most astonishing player when he sets himself to run. You can just close the gate because it's a try at the end of it. Now, Miles did marvellously well here to take an intercept in midfield. There it comes right now. And then continuing his great form, was able to get the pass away to Langer. Now, Langer did marvellously well here. He obviously wanted to get rid of the football. He went all over the football field. and eventually gave the pass back to Shira. At this point, you can just see this man start to accelerate. You don't see it often in a match. He's just conventional a lot of the time. On this occasion, he stood up a couple of good footballers there on the inside and just made the try look so easy. Miles, class, always classy. Got the pass underneath the body of the player that was tackling him. Very clever stuff. Langer, well drilled, keeping the ball alive. And look what he kept it alive for. Shira to score a magnificent try. I think that's maybe his 10th try for the season. And he's just astonishing when he goes off. I'm really in admiration for him. I hate him because he left Manly, but I think he's a very good player.
Well, you gave him one too many tries. 9 tries for the season.
I apologise.
Now here's Shira. And this is to the right. Can't have the extras, but the Broncos looking really comfortable at 22 points to 8 over the Canterbury Bankstown side.
Bill, does the scoreline tell the story of the game?
Look, if I was Canterbury coach Chris Anderson, I think I'd be happy with the effort that's been there, Graham. They've really tried hard tonight, but they've just made too many mistakes again. You can see in the last 20 minutes they've found it very difficult to get down the other end of the field, and no one to blame for themselves. They've just been dropping the ball, and Brisbane are a side, once you start to do that against them, they're always going to capitalise.
Chance here after winning it against the feed. Trump. Madison. Taken by Kyle White. Langer. Long pass out for Kevin Walters. Over the top of Nissen for Khan for the corner. He'll get there. Great ball from Kevin Walters. He saw that Canterbury had crept in their defence and they left it open out wide.
Yes, it's starting to get embarrassing now, but this was a conventional three-quarter line movement with long passes, cut-out passes, and that's exactly the way it finished up with the defence coming back on the inside. Nissan had crept in to take a centre, and Khan was given a clear run to the line on the overlap. Walters away to Langer, long cut-out pass out there, and that was out to the brother Walters, and then on to Khan, so only 4 passes in it. Very smart play, very clever play. It's the sort of football that you'd expect from a team that's so eminent in the competition.
Willie Khan made his debut this year in State of Origin football, in State of Origin 3. 10 tries, the leading Broncos try scorer. Sprays this one. Scoreline remains, though, 26-8 in favour of the Broncos.
They will retain their lead at the top of the table without the likes of Lewis and Jackson. Now Herring was able to pick it up. Willie Khan puts his foot to the ball. A crunch.
That's a
Jason Alchin.
He's only a little fella, this man, and look at the two of them. They go bonk, and over he goes. That is very, very hard. Very hard indeed.
Now Farah will find touch. Less than 60 seconds remaining. Canterbury continue to struggle. As Graham pointed out, they probably do need to win every remaining game and then probably rely on a few other teams to lose matches that they would normally expect to win.
Yes, I think that word you used about Canterbury is very appropriate, struggle. They have struggled tonight. They've tried very hard, put in an enormous amount of work, as Kyle White's doing up the side, not Kyle White,
Smith it was, the centre.
The sideline, the centre. But they just can't seem to crack this very enthusiastic Broncos defence. Nobody in the Canterbury side needs to hang his head. I think they've all done the best of their ability, but just not good enough.
Here's McGrady. May have lost the football. I think he has.
I just subscribe to the view that the Broncos have got a couple of key players who are quite exceptional players with some exquisite skills, and those players make the difference.
There's a seconds remaining in the match. Scott Tronk playing the football for Allen. Herring on his own. This is the last tackle. As the train goes by, sounding its horn. Obviously a Brisbane supporter. Will be almost in time with the hooter to end the game. This is down again for Alchin. Trying to get around Walters. Madison's coming in and Walters again. There is the hooter. Referee West heard it. Acknowledges full time. That is a very good win to the Brisbane side.
Yes, it got away from Canterbury towards the end. The Brisbane side looked particularly good. As the second half wore on, they started to play their most attractive football. The scorers, well, they've been fairly comprehensive. Shira scored 2, Johns 1, Miles 1, Khan 1. Shira's kicked 3 goals. McGrady scored the only try for the Canterbury side. Lamb kicked 2 goals. So it's been 26 points to 8 to the Brisbane Broncos.